Shalom everyone. I would like to share with all of you one of my proudest moments. The Brit Milah of the son of Ovadia Penina Swartz, my former housemate, current Chavruta and friend, who is like family to me, my wife and my sons. The Brit Milah was in the family home of Penina Swartz in America, the wife of Ovadia. After the Pidyon Haben, the redemption of the firstborn, at the end of May, they will return to Eretz Israel, Yerushalayim, where Ovadia learns full-time in yeshiva, supported by his wife. Unfortunately, Ovadia's parents and first-time grandparents, Jeremy and Letitia Swartz, could not make it to the Brit Milah in America from South Africa, but they will be in Israel in June to meet their first grandson. Me, my wife, and my sons would like to wish the entire Adato family and Swartz family a big mazel tov, and may their son grow up in Torah, mitzvot, and good deeds.
Malach Bris. Al Yemini v'Shamkei Sibarti l'Shuas Chadodai. So no Kelim Rasefa Kamotesh Olav Shalom of Love Nishar Rasefa Ve'Lamam Shal Ashtri Tivkaras Gardish Kanam Katzirecha Nisma V'Chad Beisecha V'Dod Shechalecha. Aridado, grandfather of the baby, and at a school of Sky High in Muhammad with Santa Claus. Oh. Adia Ben, we are the Sander. Bris, Mazel tov, mazel tov. Shemen tov, mazel tov, mazel Rajakadana, great grandfather of the Rachanimo, with Amida the Brachos, and Rabbi Bogopolki is with the Brachos. Oh, shit, like that. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidesh ideh mibeten chad b'shel osam. It's a chosam b'os b'ris kodesh Hakim Misado, El Chai Chokenu, Tzuvenu, Tzivol Atil Yidido Zera Kodesh, Yeredu Mishachas, Commander Isa, Washer Sam, Yim Salenu, Baruch Ato Adonai, Barei Sabrei. Aaron the Sarah Ben Ovadia Penina Asher Karasas Avram Mushpata Yisrael, Bayami Bel Yaakov L'chol B'Kabri Shalom. Hodu Adonai. Aram Mitzvah Ben Avadia Moshe Zakatan Elohim Yigad Bayu Kishem Shenichas Bris Taki Pares HaTorah U'Lemitzvot V'Chubot U'Ma'asim Tovim V'chein Yiratzon V'Namar Amen. Ben Ovadia Moshe Yishlach Lo U'Imo. Oh, Dina Bas Ariela Batia. Dina Bas Ariela Batia, Rav Shem about Bor, Shenichnas Labris, Shem, Shenichnas Labris, Kinakanis, the Sarah of Balamasim, Tovim, Vinamar, Amen. Awesome time.
This is, I don't know, maybe Shira's fault, maybe somebody else. This is Abba's fault. This is Abba's fault. It's Papa's fault. There, yeah.
In our lives, we also have Dayenu moments that come up. So I was saying that we have responsibility to put ourselves in the feet of our forefathers, and if we look at the order of events, certainly when they came to Har Sinai, it would have been enough for them, because everything that happened before that would have been justified by this simple moment without thinking about what's going to happen. So too in our lives we have a lot of Dayenu moments, but we learn from this that each Dayenu moment needs to be considered in and of itself without the context of what's going to happen later. Right now at the Bris, it doesn't make sense for me to think about what tie I'm going to be wearing at his bar mitzvah, even though I know that it will be coming up. The thought that I had at his birth was that each moment needs to be experienced in its entirety as a moment in and of itself, even though we know that things could be better later. And I think definitely that the birth of Aaron and definitely this Bris is definitely the Yenu moment for my wife and I. Aaron B'Tzalel sounds very close to Moshe B'Tzalel, besides a few differences. So originally that was our plan, but everything is called Minas Shemaim, and ended up being that we thought that we're going to keep B'Tzalel because of its meaning. It's a very special thing to not be heard about, and then all of a sudden Hashem says this is the architect that will build the most special thing that will unite Am Yisrael and Hashem, and we never heard about him before. I think that's testament to some sort of private relationship that B'Tzalel had with Hashem without being flashy, without being out there. It was just the relationship that he had with Hashem, and it was just that happened to be that he was an architect, and Hashem kind of took it up. So definitely B'Tzalel was for sure on our radar, and also because we wanted to honor my father-in-law. But then we were thinking about what is going to be the first name. And I think it was my wife that kind of came up. And if you look at, besides the Bris, that's an exception, but generally, if you look at if you've spent time with Aaron before, you realize that he's the most chillest baby. I think. I mean, I don't have any other babies, but I'm just saying that he's such a chill baby. He's such a peaceful baby. He kind of cries whenever there's something wrong, but otherwise he'll be sitting there looking at the wall. So definitely, I think Aaron kind of induce his temperament in that way, that we can kind of see that in the Egel Zahav, when Moshe went up and there was a lot of anxiety amongst Am Yisrael about what will happen next, and they wanted to build this thing, and Aaron could have had a very hardcore attitude towards Am Yisrael, but instead of doing that, he kind of said, look, maybe let's ask your wives for their gold instead of yours, it's better, or your children's gold. So in a sense, the temperament is that even though Am Yisrael was in a sense at its lowest point, not to disrespect them by blatantly going against them, he kind of just like by the by gave them a different means or ways that they could stall this as long as possible. So I think that definitely is something that Penina and I want to have in our son. As Hillel says, that Aaron was Oev Shalom and Odev Shalom. He pursued peace, and he was basically the epitome of peace. So that's definitely something that we would want to have present in the life of Aaron. Just thank yous. Obviously, big thank you to Kadosh Baruch Hu. My wife is healthy, Baruch Hashem. My son is healthy. At those kind of moments, you realize that it's the small things in a sense that are important, and that definitely is the most important thing. So Baruch Hashem to that. And on that note, also thank you to my wife. She was a superstar, and she still remains to be a superstar. And she's there's a story that my great grandmother says, may she live long and be well. She says a story about this couple that some troubles in their life and etc. And someone decided that they're going to bring them a bouquet of flowers. So they brought the bouquet of flowers in the house, and they realized that like the table is not so shy for this like nice flowers that they received. So they fixed the flowers, and then they realized that the table and the flowers were looking good, but the living room was looking a bit schwer, and ended up being that they step by step changed their life around to where they even came to their first relationship. And I definitely feel that in my life, Penina was that bouquet of flowers to me. I always make the joke that we found each other in Africa. She found a behemoth, and she turned me into a man. So, worship. And secondly, thirdly, thank you very much to the Sandak. There's a machlokes, not machlokes, but there's a discussion whether or not someone should choose a Talmid Chacham or should choose their father to be Sandak, and definitely I didn't have that question when I was thinking about who to be Sandak, and specifically also to Ima for setting up everything. I've never seen things just appear as quickly as I've seen things appear. And also thank you to Yaakov, Adina, Jake, Tzvi, Shira, and Meira for being good in-laws and siblings, and also for helping out, especially Shira and Meira, who has been here throughout this chaos. And a special shout out to Tova, Huda, and Malka. Firstly, Malka for being cute, and Tova and Huda for their continued support. And thank you, in his absence, Rabbi Bogapovsky, and our Pikers for their continued, and Rabbi Wittenberg for their continued contribution to the community. I'm definitely reaping the fruits of their labor here, and continue to. And also everyone in the community. It's very beautiful to have for me coming for the first time, and I can say that I did build some like meaningful relationships in this community already, and I think that's just a testament of the morals and the greatness of the community. So thank you very much for coming.
For those of you that want to know how this all started, you can watch this video next. Yom Tov.